Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to talk about 10 most amazing tools in the world. So before starting this video, please like this video, and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. Number 10. The fish hook. It's one of the most basic things on our list. Just a piece of bent wire with a barb on the end. However, the fish hook has proved to be one of our most reliable resources in human history. We can feed without the dangers of hunting or the hard work of farming by fishing. Cro-Magnon man possibly carved the first fish hooks out of wood more than 30,000 years ago. Animal bone, horns, shells, steel, and even the thorns of hawthorn bushes have all been used by other cultures throughout history. Fish hooks were fashioned from the thigh bones of deceased fishermen on Easter Island. While some industrial fishing techniques, such as long line fishing, still rely on the humble hook, the hook is becoming less necessary in modern times, as commercial fishing projects rely more and more on massive nets. Number 9. The scale. The scale, which serves as the basis for commerce and coinage, is ranked as the 15th most powerful method. Early balance scales were made up of two weighing pans fixed to either end of a beam, and delicately balanced on a central pivot. They were first discovered in Sumeria about 9,000 years ago. It made it easier for merchants to decide the exact weight of their products, which simplified pricing. Number 8. Channel lock. Reversible jaw adjustable wrench. Channel lock believes they have the answer to decluttering your tool belt. The new CHANNELLOCK reversible jaw adjustable wrench looks and acts like a standard wrench, but it also has pointed teeth on one side of the jaw. Simply reverse the jaw, and the teeth will allow you to get a firm grip on things that a normal wrench will simply slip off of. These modern wrenches come in sizes of 6, 8, 10, and 12 inches. They can be found in most big hardware stores throughout the United States and Canada. The price and availability can differ depending on the store. Number 7. Brad. Finish nailer. A brad nailer and a finish nailer are two distinct tools that can be difficult to distinguish. A brad nailer is a smaller version of a brad nailer that uses brads instead of nails. This method is used to protect small pieces of trim, without having to use wood putty to conceal the brad. The role of a finish nailer is similar to that of a finishing nailer, but with larger nails. A finish nailer can break tiny pieces of trim, so make sure you're using the right tool. Number 6. Chainsaw. Have you ever tried using a handsaw to hack through a thick down tree branch? The muscles in the forearms and biceps yell, "I've had enough," after the 10th log. Of course, if you don't have to, why waste an entire day? Here's where a chainsaw comes in handy and makes it a lot simpler. It makes no difference whether you use gas or electricity. I, on the other hand, prefer the calming tone of a two-stroke. Remember that cutting a tree branch with a chainsaw from a ladder can be risky. Enough that I felt obligated to mention it. In fact, when the blade retaliates, your equilibrium is lost. Just look up any online videos of gentlemen attempting it. You'll learn how to get a broken back in the shortest time possible. Number 5. Digital caliper. Internal and external distances are easily measured with digital calipers. A digital LCD screen makes this job much simpler by displaying the measurements without requiring you to think about it. This method will give you confidence that your measurements will be accurate in half the time. You should always use a tool that reduces your workload by half. Number 4. Screwdrivers. Another iconic method that you've almost certainly heard of. Screws would be almost impossible to use without screwdrivers. What would they do if they had to go into the woods? Since there are so many different types of screws, there are many different types of screwdrivers. To use a screwdriver correctly, make sure the tip suits the sort of screw you're working with. Phillips screwdrivers, such as this one from Home Depot, seem to be the most common, but most tool stores sell a range of screwdriver tips for a reasonable price. Number 3. The saw. Few resources are so critical that they have their own origin story. According to legend, the first saw was created by Perdix, a young boy who was the nephew of the famous inventor Daedalus. Perdix was inspired by the ridges on a fish's backbone while working as an apprentice for his uncle and invented the handy cutting tool. Saws cover a wide variety of equipment. Most saws, including the circular saw shown above, are driven. We won't go into detail about the various forms of power saws, because we have a separate guide on saws. Power saws are, without a doubt, a very common power tool. Some people own a variety of power saws, including table, chain, circular, track, and so on. Do you have any idea which form of saw is the most popular? Regardless, I'll tell you, It's the table saw, which is searched for nearly 126,000 times a month on Google in the United States. Chainsaws are the next most common, followed by circular, ability, and track saws. What sort of power saw you select is decided by the work you do. Because of its versatility, a circular saw like the one shown above is a good starting power saw. Chainsaws are an interesting saw to buy because you can't do much with them, unless you chop a lot of wood, carve huge stumps, or build demo houses on a regular basis. But who am I to say? I don't own a chainsaw. Perhaps if I bought one, I'd have that aha moment and wonder how I managed without it. Number 2. The compass. The compass is the instrument that will help you find your way home, if you're lost in the woods, driving through a neighborhood, or circumnavigating the globe. A compass will always point north, no matter where you are on the planet, a reality that changed the world. Sailors used compasses to travel through oceans and explore new worlds. Their usage ushered in a new era of discovery and revolutionized trade. Number 1. Hammer. Hammers are one of the most common tools used for a variety of activities, from the home to the office. The sizes, applications, shapes, compositions, and functions of the various forms vary, but they're all used to drive nails into various surfaces such as wood, plaster, and metal. They're also used to assemble and disassemble bits. Apart from nails, hammers are used with a range of other materials, including screws, screwdrivers, fasteners, tacks, staples, and gel levelers. While the hammer is one of the most useful tools, it can also be dangerous if not handled or stored properly. So, to prevent needless injury, make sure to observe safety protocols. Learn more about this tool at the connection provided. What do you think our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.